February 24th, 2022. Site designation Pitchfork. This is Professor William Keene recording what is likely my last recording. We failed. We tried all that we could try, from attempting to genetically alter the seeds of trees to manufacturing weapons-grade fungal killers so potent and deadly that Geneva Convention would have come and had a field day. We even tried burning it, with flamethrowers, napalm, and God knows what other kind of incendiary. We tried everything, and in the end, we failed. To recap the events that led to this unfortunate and agonizing end for humanity, I need to start where it all began. In a cave. Over a year ago, a team of scientists descended a cave system in search of a supposed undiscovered species of bat. What they would end up finding would be anything but that. What they brought back was indeed the find of the century, but a find that would be deeply regretted by all in the months following said discovery. It was truly astonishing. An undiscovered species of fungus so durable and so tenacious, it could survive in almost any environment. We tested it. In controlled settings, we bombarded it with extreme high and low temps. Nothing. It stood its ground. Our most eye-opening discovery came when we decided to see what would happen if a random houseplant was introduced to this fungus. Well, we definitely got what we asked for, and then some. To put it simply, the plant was gone. The fungus actively sought out the plant within the controlled setting and began attacking it. This was within a day of them being in direct proximity to each other. At the end of the test, the plant had been completely consumed by the fungus. Hell, the plant couldn't even be seen anymore inside the compartment, save for the turned over pot missing the obviously absent plant. The fungus, though, it had grown, if only by a modestly small margin. We suspected the range of growth was equal in some way to the size of the plant that had been consumed. The fungal sample used in the test was no bigger than my fist, but after killing the plant, it had grown to the size of roughly a desk lamp. The team overseeing this project was, of course, taken back by this discovery. In response to this, they decided to raise the stakes. They transferred the sample into a larger compartment, and with it they placed a plant much larger than before. This was by no means a large tree, but a small tree big enough to likely encourage a different result. We flipped on the recording equipment and we waited. When we came back, the tree... it was gone. It had been consumed, just like the houseplant. The sample in turn had overtaken the entire floor of its sealed compartment. So much that the glass and steel housing that made up the compartment was showing slight signs of bending. Green Death, one of my colleagues blurted. I would have said that such a title might be taken too far, but now I know that it was aptly named. We had to abandon the lab and move into an adjacent one. The fungus had broken out of the compartment and was slowly overtaking the lab. While it didn't seem detrimental to be directly exposed to it, nevertheless we took the precautions anyway. Somehow it was still able to expand into the next lab, and in turn consume each plant inside the lab, potted or otherwise. While there were no signs of the fungus having directly expanded, it did however turn out that I and my colleagues had unknowingly taken fungal spores on our lab coats and in our hair. This resulted in a spore or two finding the plants, making contact, growing, and then consuming the plants. That lab had several fungal deposits after that happened. Everything snowballed from there. We had brought spores not just into the next lab, but we brought them home with us, we brought them to the store, we brought them to the park, and we brought them to the bar. The first major fungal growth happened at a local park. The park itself was decently sized and predictable, with a large field of grass, a bunch of trees, a playground, and a baseball field. Within a week, the fungus had consumed the trees, the bushes, and even the grass. From there, the mass expanded and was actively seeking out and consuming any and all plant life in its path. We all stood there, in awe of the giant in front of us, and it was then we learned too late what it was capable of. The powers that be, in cohesion with our brightest minds, brought their greatest tools to bear, and time again we failed. One thing led to another, and the spores flew far and wide. Soon it was halfway across the country in a matter of days. Soon it was across the border. Soon it was across the ocean. It was amazing, really. I'm at a loss for words on how this thing could have survived for so long, considering its food source. But when it was finally released, it did humanity a sick number in just over a year. They were all gone. Every blade of grass, every garden shrub, and every tree were gone. You'd probably think the major blow to humanity would be that we have no more plants producing oxygen, and we'd collectively die due to lack thereof. But it wasn't that. Even though we lost our major oxygen producers, we'd still have plenty to last us thousands, if not tens of thousands of years. Nah, it wasn't us that started biting it. It was our food supply. First, the grass eaters died. And with no more herbivores, the carnivores died out in feeding frenzies. No way to grow crops, and nothing to hunt, humanity tore into each other for whatever scraps they could find. No, it wasn't a quick suffocation, but a long and helpless fight that reduced humanity to small isolated pockets. Everyone else has left the site. I opted to stay behind in order to make this recording. When I last took inventory, I surmised I have about 3 months worth of food. That is of course assuming I live that long. This is Professor William Keene, signing off for the last time. Well, okay, a world-ending fungus that basically kills and destroys all plant life. Yeah, that's not a scenario you want to be in. Hope you guys enjoyed this. This one didn't come in to fruition in kind of the same way the last one did, but you know, it's still going to be taking up a place as the second episode in our Fractured Stories series, so that'll be fun. Had to record this only 2 times, but getting better. Baby steps. Anyways, hope you enjoyed. Hope there will be more. I can't say what the next one's gonna be, but you'll know. I think I'm going to try and make these a week apart, maybe 1-2 weeks, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Alright. Thank you for listening. Or watching. Probably listening. Whatever. Thank you for dropping by. Leave a like if you thought it was so cool. And if you feel like doing so, subscribe. If not, hey, thank you for coming in and staying until the end. Much big preach. Anyways. I hope you are chill, awesome, and have a dope, great, awesome day. Away from my word spaghetti. Anyways. This was your good friend, the Musical Pumpkin, and stay awesome. Bye-bye.